terrific matchup at running back. Two of the most dangerous.
Welcome back to
backs in the
another
NFL
NFL season prediction video. This time I will be going over the New York Giants. Last year the Giants greatly underperformed, leading to them firing longtime head coach Tom Coughlin, hiring offensive coordinator Ben McAdoo. Spent a lot of money in free agency to get some key defensive pieces. But will it all work out? Let's see. So I usually start these videos with the wins and losses, starting with the win. Starting with a game against the New Orleans Saints, a rematch of last year's instant classic shootout. I say the Giants get the upper hand this time and take the win. I can't remember if the Giants actually won the last time, but the Giants win this time. Don't remember if they did or not. So, again, Giants will win this game, mostly based around the fact that this time their defense will actually be able to stop Drew Brees from throwing the ball anywhere he wants to. And just Brees will not be able to move the ball as easily this time. Their next win comes against the Green Bay Packers. I feel like the Giants' defense will actually allow them to pick up a win that normally I wouldn't have given them. But I feel like this defense will perform greatly better than last year and allow them to pick up a key win against the Green Bay Packers. Next, a win against Dallas. I believe this one's in New York, so I give them this win against the Cowboys. Again, based around the fact that that defense should be, a far superior unit, and that offense will continue to be good. Oh, whoops, I lied. That was actually Baltimore. Pretty much the same reasons, though, as Dallas. I mean, sorry about that.
Over a period of time, it's going to wear that defense out. There's no doubt about it.
The way to like in my notebook, I didn't see that there was a line on that. So, uppercase B. Next, the Los Angeles Rams. I say the Giants also take this game around the strength of both sides of the football, offensively and defensively. The Giants will dominate. And the Giants will actually enter their bye week at 5-2. With them getting a win against the Philadelphia Eagles coming out of the bye week.
You got to be agile when you make these kind of catches, running these short drag routes.
Their defense will stop Philadelphia, and their offense will light up a very weak Eagles secondary. Then a win against Cleveland. Again, if you haven't watched the Cleveland video, go watch it. I go over all of this in a little more detail. Then a win against Detroit. I think their defense will be able to stop a Calvin Johnson-less Lions team and will overall just be successful. And their last win in the season will come against the Washington Redskins. Again, defense will be able to slow down, a very good Washington, or not a very good, but a good Washington offense, and their defense, their offense will be able to beat up on a Washington defense that includes Josh Norman and nobody else in secondary. So, that is only 8 wins, if I count correctly.
Fleener's unable to bring that pass in, Jim. He just took his eyes off the football. And when you do that, it's usually going to result in a drop. And those things happen. It's not a perfect game.
I actually counted an extra game during my bye week. They were 4-2 entering the bye week. So
this drive now about to reach the 10th play of the series.
Okay, so that's their 8th win. I did count right. I just screwed up at one point. I gave them an extra game during the bye week. Or before their bye week. So, that means they have 8 losses, starting in week 1 with the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas overall will actually be able to, offensively, Dez Bryant will probably be able to dominate, and defensively, the Cowboys will be able to make Eli Manning struggle. And same thing goes for this game against the Washington Redskins. Kirk Cousins will probably be able to throw the ball very well, although, again, you know, the Giants' defense is kind of overhauled and retooled. I still think that team will struggle finding its positioning, finding its footing under a new head coach and under a new scheme and all of those things. The defense will struggle under an offensive head coach. Then a loss against the Minnesota Vikings. I give them this game. I give the Vikings this game. Again, very good defense for the Vikings. They'll make Eli Manning struggle.
2-minute warning. One more snap first. Secures it with 2 hands.
Then, after the bye week, a loss to Cincinnati. Cincinnati will be one of the top teams in the AFC. And overall, will have an opportunity to compete for a bye week. The Giants, I think, will again struggle and not allow themselves to be in that situation because of a new scheme for all of these new players. Then, an upset loss to Chicago. I feel like Chicago's overall team will just be able to pick up an upset victory. I think Chicago has all the pieces there to get an upset. Then, a loss to Pittsburgh. I feel like Pittsburgh's offense will be able to tear apart the brand new retooled Giants defense. Again, the Giants, although they did kind of retool that defense, they don't have a second or safeties, and their secondary, I think, is still going to struggle just a bit.
In a situation like this, you do not take a chance.
Then,
and put your
the
team
last
in a
loss to
position
Dallas.
where they have to
I
make
say
a
that they
big
lose to
comeback in the
Dallas,
second
again,
half.
based around the fact that Dallas will just overall have an opportunity to be a good team. And Dallas will go back to the form that they showed not too long ago where they won that division. And then their last loss of the season will come in upset fashion to the Philadelphia Eagles. Mostly, again, Philadelphia, I think will get this upset in a pride game. The Giants will not be able to compete for a playoff spot at this point. And I feel like Philadelphia will get the win in a close one because the Giants really just won't care anymore. So at 8-8, the Giants will miss the playoffs, but will end up being second place in their division behind the Dallas Cowboys by 3 games. Again, I think the Giants will be a force to be reckoned with next season. This season, I feel like the Giants will struggle to come together overall. Again, any Giants fan, don't take it the wrong way. I truly believe that the Giants will be a force to be reckoned with next season. But for now, this team has to learn how to play together and learn its roles in a new scheme and setting.
You know, as a quarterback, sometimes you got to trust that arm and
so
the football.
Let's go into bold predictions. I do a bold prediction for every position group. Quarterback, running back, wide receiver. Sometimes will be tight end. If I can't think of a good one for receiver, I'll replace it with a good one for a tight end. Defensive line, linebackers, defensive backs. I don't do punters, kickers, or offensive linemen. Punters and kickers. Stats are weird. I can just say he makes 40 kicks and be done with it. And offensive lineman, it's kind of hard to make predictions on a position that has little to no stats. So, starting with quarterback, Eli Manning will have a phenomenal season, posting new career highs in every single statistic that he's ever done, including the least amount of interceptions he has ever thrown in a season.
Got to give this secondary
running back, every
now,
running back on the Giants will struggle. None of them will eclipse 1,000 yards. Hell, none of them will eclipse, I say, 600 yards. A wide receiver, Odell Beckham will continue to improve upon the past 2 seasons and will not make the All-Pro team, but will get quite a few votes and a lot of recognition he will end up being 4th place in the voting on the All-Pro ballot, or however they do All-Pro votes. He will end up being 4th place behind Julio Jones and the 2 eventual winners, Dez Bryant and Antonio Brown.
Takes the hit, throws.
Defensive line, I say every single player on the Giants defensive line, including, rotational guys, will all combine for close to 40 sacks, with Jason Pierre-Paul leading the way with 40, not 40, Jesus Christ. That'd be a season.
Well, when you get in a situation like this, Jim,
Jason Pierre-Paul will lead the way in sacks on the team with 13. Oliver Vernon will get 10, and Damon Harris and Jonathan Hankins will combine to get 10 together.
As we near halftime, the scoreboard says it all. A big, bold 0 on the scoreboard for that team as the defense has completely frustrated them, Phil.
Wouldn't surprise me to see the coach go in at halftime and make some changes on the offensive side. So, man, if you're lucky enough to survive halftime, you better
What was I say? Oh, yeah. Linebacker. No one on the Giants linebacking core will have over 60 tackles.
To be demoralized by that 4th down conversion allowed.
I mean, they don't really have many good linebackers. I feel like that's the one position they kind of ignored in free agency, and I feel like that was the one position they could have worked on a lot more.
Going for the home run.
Unfortunate.
Reads that one.
Oh, in defensive back, I say that Eli Apple will start every game, but will not record an interception and will struggle greatly. I feel like Eli Apple is extremely raw. I said it in my draft player analysis. I felt Eli Apple was a late 1st rounder or a 2nd rounder. They used the top 10 pick on him, or a top like 13 or something. I think he was like 10 or 11.
Larry Ridley, you're watching.
Eli Apple will struggle greatly, will not record a single interception, and will have a ton of his tackles, or attempted tackles, I guess you could say, broken.
Keeps his legs moving.
Wow, why does it feel like everyone's running so slow? I'm going to return a kick. Man, the only 2 times I've ever returned a kick have been on camera. So,
for a touchdown, a lot has to happen.
I already talked about Eli Apple. I say Eli Apple will struggle greatly. Oh, and Dorian Thompson, or Darian Thompson, the safety, will start every single game. Kind of a 2-for-1 there at defensive back. So, all that being said, that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say. Giants will go 8-8. And we'll miss the playoffs, but this will pretty much be a learning experience for the Giants, and they will be a force to be reckoned with in the next season.
1st down at the 29. Breeze with the handoff.
So, all that being said, this is Jay West, signing off.
That time, and he only gets a short game.